What if your whole life gets taken away from you? Everything you have built destroyed in an instant by something you don't understand, forced to be tortured for years on end. That is the story of Ryu, later named Eric the Sword King. Our story starts with our main character, Ryu Hanbin, waking up in a strange world with a weird message popping up telling him to survive and grow stronger. Before he can figure out where is and what is going on, he gets bitten in the arm by something that resembles a wolf. Ryu grabs a rock and smashes it over the head with it, unable to kill it. A guideline pops up, explaining that the monster is something called a hell dog and shows its level and strength level, which is similar to an unequipped adult male. And also explains that you level up in this world by defeating powerful monsters. As Ryu reads this, he gets bitten in the neck. We flash back to Ryu in the normal world while he questions what he did wrong to end up in this place. Explaining that he just got discharged from his mandatory military service and did nothing but relax since. He explains that he had trouble assimilating back into society. Eating chips and sitting behind his computer, a mysterious black fog starts covering Ryu's body and transports him to another world. Ryu gets transported to a strange place without his clothes. While questioning if he's dead, an announcer says that all chosen ones have been gathered. The announcer states that there were 7 billion candidates and that they were able to find so many chosen ones because of that. The announcer, which Ryu debates if it's God, converses with somebody else and tells them to give out the guidelines. Afterwards, Ryu gets hit with a beam and seems to be in great pain. The announcer says that he made a mistake and that there is an error with the guideline, but he states that it's not so bad since it only affected one person. Coming back to present day, we see Ryu ferociously beat the hell dog with a rock. Complaining about his current situation and how he hasn't even dated a girl yet, a message pops up stating that Ryu has less than a 5% chance to survive with his current skill level, and the guideline asks him if he will end his own life. Ryu resolves not to give up and plans to survive. Doing so made another message pop up, telling Ryu to select a class which will aid him in his survival. Every decision Ryu chooses gets rejected by the guideline, stating that he lacks the capability for the class, forcing him to pick the warrior class. Ryu chooses the long spear for his weapon, but because of the error, he only gets a sword. He swings the sword with no skill and eventually falls down. After 7 days, Ryu becomes level 2 and learns a new skill called Stab, which is very helpful since he is very bad at fighting with a sword. He also learns that the hell dogs level up too and that they adapt to his fighting style. While eating, a message pops up stating that if Ryu levels up to level 5, he gets to leave his area and meet up with other chosen ones, and he learns that he is in a safe zone area only meant for newbies so they can level up. Excited, Ryu starts actively hunting hell dogs to become level 5 as soon as possible. Learning new skills called side slash and vertical slash, he explains how he only fought, ate, and slept day in and day out. After 27 days, a message pops up saying that Ryu has finally reached the required level to leave the area. Excited, Ryu screams out in joy, only for an error message to pop up stating that Ryu has been demoted back to level 1. In disbelief, Ryu checks his player level only to find out that it's true, he has been demoted to level 1. Still having his stats and skills, he looks at it from the bright side, assuming that the hell dogs would be demoted. However, that was not the case. Even though the guideline stated that the hell dogs were only level 1, Ryu soon came to find out that the hell dogs were stronger than they've ever been, keeping up with him in strength. Ryu fights for 7 years, day in and day out, constantly getting the required skill level to leave the area and then being demoted to level 1 again. Never aging and all injuries being healed in a day, Ryu is forced to fight for his life constantly. He becomes bitter and resentful towards the system that has trapped him in this endless cycle. But still, he holds on to the hope that one day he will finally be able to escape and live a normal life. Ryu wakes up 3 years in the future, having killed hell dogs for 10 years in a row. Questioning every day if he gets sent home if he clicks the "Will you end your own life" pop-up message, he decides not to and continues fighting. Having his lack of control in his situation, Ryu has started a hobby of forging swords and made his own house as he tries to be optimistic, but a hell dog viciously destroys his house in front of him. Stating that it took him 3 years to build his house, Ryu starts mercilessly beating the hell dog that destroyed his home. He tells the hell dog that he will make a palace from its bones. The hell dogs have started growing wings and breathing fire and having various ultimate attacks, which include magic, making Ryu's job even harder. We cut to the announcer looking at Ryu's picture, freaking out, stating that it's been 22 years since Ryu has been stuck in his world. Explaining that he can't kill Ryu since a certain person would find out, we see Ryu finally being transported to another area. While Ryu is celebrating, he sees that his guideline still has an error, but he can go back to Earth if he kills one of 6 goddesses. He is also told that he needs to keep his identity as a person from another world a secret from others, and that he needs to register as a hunter. Before he can register the information, he gets attacked by a dragon. Grabbing for his sword, he realizes that it's not there. The dragon immediately breathes fire while Ryu barely dodges. Deciding not to grab his sword, Ryu jumps up to punch the dragon so he can grab his sword afterwards, blasting the dragon away with the sheer force of his punch. Through a backstory, we learn that the dragon is called Effa and that she puts on a tough act, but is kind-hearted and never wanted to kill the humans who attacked her. But ever since they started grouping up on and hunting her, she felt as though she had no choice but to kill them. We also learn that she is not a dragon but a wyvern. She explains that besides that the goddesses of her world want players with the guideline like Ryu's death because they level up by killing, and their main goal is to kill the goddesses. Knowing how crucial it is for Ryu to keep his identity hidden, he makes his way to the Hunter Guild to apply to be a hunter. Everybody at the guild is shocked as they see Ryu because of his great physique. They assume he is a powerful veteran hunter. But after he talks to administration and tells them that he wants to be a hunter, all the people at the guild start slowly drawing their weapons. Flashing back to before Ryu came to the Hunter Guild, we see Ryu talk to Effa. He asks her to help him blend into this world and lets her know that he won't kill her and starts befriending her. She agrees and gives him clothes to wear. Ryu asks her how he can meet the goddesses, and Effa explains how difficult that is. She explains that he either has to be one of the 4 heroes or do a great service to meet with them and receive their blessings. The only way to receive that blessing is by becoming a hunter who hunts dungeon monsters who were created by the demon god Ormflaus. Coming back to current day, we see that the other hunters at the guild are suspicious that Ryu, who has changed his name to Eric now to blend in, isn't a hunter yet, and they assume that he might be a player with a guideline, what they call an otherworlder. As Eric starts getting nervous, the administrator asks him to place his hand on a measuring stone to measure his power. Eric fantasizes that they measure his power and that everybody would be shocked and in awe with how strong he is, but the stone reveals that he is just a level 5 swordsman. The guild starts erupting in laughter and feel relieved. They state that otherworlders come in stating they want to be hunters, but they are already level 20, so that wouldn't make any sense. Eric states that he wants to enter a dungeon, but another hunter ridicules him and tells him that level 5 hunters should know their place. His name is Loud and he's going on a quest to Sothei Forest where monsters are apparently destroying nearby houses. We find out that he is level 27, which he calls high, and that he doesn't feel comfortable having other weaker hunters go. Eric is confused since he acts strong but notices that he is only the same level as Effa. He also notices that most hunters in the guild are only around level 13 and 12. The administrator asks Eric if he wants to join Loud's hunting party, which he is visibly against, but Loud says that he already has a newbie joining the raid, so there is no room. The newbie's name is Atis and he states that he's a level 25 mage, but Eric sees that he is lying in his guideline and that he is actually level 37, making him stronger than Loud. Loud eventually changes his mind and vows to take Eric with him in his quest. He taunts Eric and asks him if he wants to become the Sword King or something, carrying around a big toy sword like that. He tries to pull Eric's sword from his back, and while he struggles, Eric gives him a terrifying death stare, telling him to let go and raising him up off the ground with his sword, scaring the life out of Loud. The hunters in the guild start chanting excitedly, and a mysterious figure in the background looks at Eric and says that he finally found him. Leave a comment explaining what you would do in Ryu's position. Like the video for part 2 and subscribe for more videos like this. This has been my Manhwa life and I hope to see you next time.